time. That is huge.
Money.
All right. So you may think that the reason I'm wearing a tuxedo this evening because I'm going out with that girl that you all just saw in the video. But that's not true. The reason for the tuxedo is because it's kind of like a coronation this evening. I want to welcome our worldwide audience into my home. Yes, that is Marilyn Monroe back there. My name is Joe. I'm the guy who hosts the webinars, and I'm the guy who hosts the morning radio show. And I do want to welcome a worldwide audience today. I'm going to be shutting this chat off in a minute here because I want you guys to pay attention. We got kind of a special webinar here this evening. It's a little bit different than what we've done in the past. And we are going to be hearing from Greg, and we're going to be hearing also from Vincent Ortega this evening. We're going to talk a little bit about the philosophy of our community and what we're doing here. I'm going to take you on a little journey. We're going to go back over about 6 weeks and revisit some of the things that we've learned along the way. And then we are going to get into some technical stuff. We're going to show you exactly how to get that traffic moving, because that seems to be where people are stumbling. And Vincent's going to share with us his exact back office. You're going to see the truth, exactly what's going on back there in the back office of Vincent Ortega. Before I get there, is there? Yes, there is audio. Can people hear me? I think you guys can hear me, right?
You're good.
Okay, cool.
If anybody ever has issues, they just need to refresh, like shut down and come back.
All right, there it is. The master has spoken. If you guys have any issues, you just refresh, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this chat box off so I can get you guys to pay attention to me for a few minutes, and then I'm going to pass it over to my guys over here who are working with me today. You know, this morning we did a radio show, as we do every single day. Every morning, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we come together as a community every single day, 5 days a week. On Saturday, we get to hear from the founders of our program. On Saturday morning, actually it's the afternoon, we do what is called the Visionary Founders Hour. And this morning on the radio show, I think it was Mary Ellen Johnson She asked me a question, because the radio show is where you can go every morning to plug in and get educated, get motivated, get inspired, and we hear from each other. And this morning on the radio show, Mary Ellen Johnson asked me the question. She said, you know, Joe, I've been talking to some people about traffic authority. And she said, somebody recently said to me, well, you know, there's a lot of traffic companies out there. There's other companies that provide clicks and traffic. So why traffic authority? She said, what makes traffic authority different? And I said to her, what makes it different is you. You're what makes it different, Mary Ellen Johnson. Traffic authority is different because, you know, this is really about a community of people. I know we all are here for some financial relief. I know that I am. We're here to see those clicks turn into a pot of gold. And for some, over time, if doing it properly, that will be a pot of gold bigger than one that you can even imagine. Vincent Ortega here, it's taken him 7 years to build his list. And he did it very rudimentally, very basically. And after 7 years of practice, this guy banged out 150 grand in a month. And so for those of you guys who are here right now joining us for the very first time, I want you to understand that yes, the clicks are awesome, but the real thing here is community. I want you guys to understand that there's a group of leaders behind the scenes, and they're working right now. Many of you guys who come to our webinars, we've been doing these for 6 weeks, you're probably wondering, where's Doug, where's Adam? They're out there working behind the scenes because so much is coming to life right now. You know, so I want to emphasize really what traffic authority is. It is a community of people who truly care about each other. And if you listen to our radio shows every morning, this is where you should go to start your day. Now, say you can't get there. Okay, you can't get to the radio show in the morning? Well, we stream them live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the internet at something called radioleverage.com. So I want you guys to really start plugging in and appreciating that this is way more than just clicks. The greatest part about this is that there's a team of professionals who truly know what they're doing, who come together working on our behalf. I was on a leadership meeting today. My mind was blown when I heard some of the things that are being planned and what's going to be happening in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. So I want you guys to really understand what this is. Now, in a couple minutes, we're going to get to actually the traffic and where the traffic, you know, where in your member back office do you actually start the traffic, pause the traffic? That seems to be the question we get more often than not in the morning. But before I go there, and we're going to get this one done quickly. I know, Greg. I know that Natalie's home from a 2-week trip to Europe, or the Middle East. I know she was in Israel, right? Is that where she was for the 2 weeks? So we're going to get you out of here pretty quickly. This will be probably one of the fastest webinars we've ever done. But before I go there, I just want to remind you guys, like, the reason I'm wearing a tuxedo, how do I look, by the way? Can I go get a gig as a waiter? Nah, I don't need a gig as a waiter. I got that pot of gold working for me, man. But it is a coronation. You know, 6 weeks ago today, it was 6 weeks ago tonight that we went into pre-launch, right? And we did a webinar, and it was totally FUBAR. Those of you guys, you know what FUBAR is? Stuff wasn't working, and stuff wasn't coming up live, and we had a bunch of leaders sitting around the room, and we're having a conversation, and it's going nowhere. And we had hundreds of people piling in, giving us the thumbs up. What you experienced there was creation on the fly. We were building it in real time 6 weeks ago. And in those last 6 weeks, amazing things have happened. Do you know that in the last 6 weeks, we put in over 60,000 people into that pre-launch phase? That has morphed into, I don't even know how many thousand paying members, people who are actually subscribers. We have over 17,000 people on our Facebook page. Our radio show, I did a little research earlier today, we're approaching 15,000 listeners just in the last 30 days. And we are just getting started. So I wore a tuxedo today because this is like the coronation, right? It's like, this is the end. We finally got it. We finally arrived. But actually, it's only the beginning. Greg, I'm going to have to mute you out there, do I know your phone, Greg.
Oh, man, I'm totally back.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There he is. There's Greg. All right, listen. So the next 30 days are going to be very, very interesting. You know, and here's something else that just happened over the last week. And I found this really, really interesting. As you guys know, we came out of the gate. We got scrapes on our knees because we did a little stumbling, and that's the beauty of creation on the fly, for real. And then we got it fixed, and then we got better, and then we ran into another snag, and then there was a problem. The sites weren't loading for certain people around the world. And then the payday came, the big $600, $400, $500,000 payday, and there was some other issues because the e-wallet was so brand spanking new. But here's what I found the most interesting, is this last Friday on our radio show, and I urge you guys to go listen to it. The radio show went nearly 3 hours long. And here's the drill on the radio show. Everyone who calls in gets a chance to ask a question or make a comment. Okay, that's the drill. And last week, it took nearly 3 hours to listen to all of the people in our community who wanted to share. And now I want you to understand, this is at the conclusion of fumbling the ball on the goal line, a misfire when we went into the original pre-launch, hanging out here on Hangouts, figuring stuff out as we go. And then it just kept happening. It's like every single time we would clear a mountain, there would be another one ahead of us that was even bigger. And the question was, how bad do you guys really want this? How bad do you really want this traffic authority to be here and to live and to actually have impact on people? So Friday came, right? And we were already a week late on payday. Those of you guys who have been here, stuff happens. And so we were already a week behind on our payday. And then another couple hours went by, and we had the radio show. And sometimes we get feedback. People post on Facebook, and they're like, you guys better be ready. They're angry out there. You better be ready. Got all this, all this fire-breathing rhetoric on the Facebook page. So we're like, okay, we're ready. And we got all these people in the queue. They press 1 to talk. For 3 hours, we heard from people who were blown away by the community, by the level of transparency, the level of professionalism, the availability of every single leader to assist them. People were crying, and they hadn't gotten paid yet. This is the thing that blew my mind the most, right? Everybody's here for the money. And all of a sudden, we're running late again, and we hear from dozens of people, and I'm talking people from all over the world. Indonesia, the Netherlands are calling in. India, I'm Manjeet calling in from India, all over North America. I'm talking amazing stories from people who are having transformational experience, and we haven't even gotten started. They didn't even receive their money yet. And I got to tell you how much that said to me, right? What that said to me was that we are really onto something big. We are really onto something different, because people around the world, and this is where each and every one of us has a responsibility and ability to lead. Okay, we look at here at Greg, and we know about Adam, and Vincent is here, and I'm over here, but each and every one of us has the exact same opportunity to lead from the front. We have a magnificent program, magnificent products, a magnificent story to share. And what I'm going to do here in a minute is I'm going to bring out my boy, Greg Chambers here in a second. But what I want to do, I want to give you guys, just so you can get a little bit of a feel for what makes leadership so unique. And this is really kind of reminds me of Greg Chambers. Okay, I'll be right back. Check this out. This is actually like Greg Chambers, okay, in the front. Check this out.
I love that. I actually saw that like a year ago, and I think where we're at right now is like at those 3 people. That's it. You
Yeah,
know?
well, that's my point. That's my point about Greg Chambers. And Greg, I want you to come out here right now. This is one of the co-founders, and Greg, you're that guy dancing out there. And the first guy that came up, I think that was then never suddenly there was Doug, and all of a sudden there's Chad, and before you know it, you got all these people showing up. And the story there is each and every one of us has an opportunity to be that leader, right? Dare to be different. Believe in what we have here. Greg Chambers, coming out here, dude. What's going on? How does it feel? Hold on, I got to unmute you, bro. There you go.
I was just going to say, give me a few drinks at one of our events, and you very well may see me dance very similar to that. And I also want to share this with you guys, how much I love the traffic tribe, as it's been called in the radio show. It is true. My wife is back from 2 weeks out of the country and actually is making a real dinner, which is sitting down in my kitchen ready right this second. But I'm not going anywhere because really want to share some of these things with you guys. And, it's really, it's so interesting. I remember back, jokes you were talking about the last 6 weeks. And I remember there was probably a Saturday call, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I remember just saying, how this is a startup, how this is a launch, we're experiencing, a few issues. And I remembered promising people that it was going to be worth it. And, as we come through this, I think we're starting to see people who have been here, who kind of saw what we were talking about in advance and then saw this back office of traffic authority coming together, actually see that, it's really not talk anymore at this point. When you actually go through that, you can really see this is going to be worth it. You can also see the kind of people, the kind of leaders, the quality that we're, having around us really shows that this is absolutely going to be a movement. It's really going to be something much greater. And I want to just go, Joe, over very briefly really why that's going to be the case. I mean, it's interesting. I had a conversation with my mom probably a couple weeks ago and was just talking to her. This is the first time after being self-employed for, over 20 years that I actually have put in 100-hour weeks. That's slightly over 14-hour days. And I'm not alone. The corporate team's doing it, and the affiliate team is also doing that. And again, it kind of goes back to that conversation about how this is the beginning. The folks who actually take advantage of this, I mean, you guys who are here right now, it's nice to come together and talk about the different technical things that are going to be possible. But I'm just saying, this group that's here now, I mean, this is the group where the 7-figure earners are going to come from. There's going to be no surprise 12 months from now when we see Vince, when we see, a number of other people that have not even really shown up on the leaderboards yet, who are going to be mentored and going to be learning. And there's such a great reason for that. The reason for that is we've brought together something very, very special. We've got 3 components, Joe, that really no one else has done before. We've got the done-for-you traffic campaigns, mission critical. I mean, the truth is, and Vince tonight's going to show us how to actually start our campaigns and how to deal with that. But that done-for-you campaign, you guys, for you guys who don't know how to drive traffic today, for you guys who don't have a list, you are going to have an opportunity to build your list so much faster. I mean, I've been doing email marketing for almost 20 years. I mean, holy mackerel. It took me the first couple of years to actually get a list of any real size. I wish this would have existed back then. But the ability to build your list quickly is going to be worth so much. And I just also want to just a word on expectations. Again, anyone that's, please don't spend your, mortgage money or rent money on traffic packages. It's not meant to do that. Your traffic package money, guys, it's to build the asset of your business. And Vince is going to talk about this a little bit later. But, how someone, is able to do what he's done, it's through hard work and investments in the past through now. It's not magic. I mean, the guy has worked very hard, has spent a fortune building his list, and now he's monetizing it. And that's the point. So you guys, just covering the 3 points real quickly, the ability to come in and actually have done-for-you traffic, it's going to allow you to build your list very, very quickly. So that part, really exciting. But when you also add the tools, the ability to enhance that traffic, so what you do buy, you get the very maximum amount from. That's also really important. Really didn't exist. And I'm just going to share one tool out of our traffic optimizer that's my favorite probably, and it's our downtime alarm. I mean, I'm just telling you guys, over 20 years, I have sent traffic to websites that were up when my campaign started, but went down sometime between when it started and after I hit send and there was traffic going to it. And basically what that means is that time period after I sent the traffic and when the site went down, it means all those clicks went to waste. It's like the worst feeling you'll ever have. It's terrible. This downtime alarm, what it does is it actually, within 5 minutes, will sniff out the fact that your link is down. And when you set this up, you will have already put in another link on a different domain, so it will not also be down. So, I mean, basically, it will automatically transfer from the down website to a live website, and you will not lose the money. I'm telling you, had I had this tool, oh my God, I probably would have increased my money by 10% of just the email revenues they would have had. So, done for you traffic, one, important. Tools, important to enhance. And then the other piece, you guys, the other piece is the learning, the training, the ability to drive traffic yourself. That's another very new thing. Because what you're going to find is there's a synergy from doing all three together. It's not about just doing the done for you or just doing the training or just using the tools on traffic you already have. It's going to be about combining these things and getting humongous synergy from this, where you get the ability, to actually have it be more than any of the three parts are separately. That's the whole definition of synergy. That part, to me, really, really exciting. And then just one more thing, Joe, I just wanted to cover here very quickly, is the ability on the list building side, on the done for you traffic side, and this is underutilized and it's not talked about enough, and we're going to train on this. I am personally going to train on this, is actually how to get your traffic for free. Because you cannot do this anywhere else. And everyone thinks, well, I'm going to run the special offer where I'm going to spend $100 in traffic and I'm going to make $150. If you can do that, give me a call right now. We're going to go make $1 billion together, because I'm telling you, it's not possible. I mean, the very, very likelihood is, if you break even, you're on your knees thanking God. Normally it's a slight loss. But the reason in traffic authority why it is possible to break even right from out of the gate is that you can use leverage to basically make your traffic free. You can get 2 team members who purchase the same traffic package as you and work with them to each get 2. And when you do that, you have 2 who each have 2 buying the same package as you. Yours is free. And the ability to build your list and everything you do from that being free going forward, you cannot do that anywhere else. Anyone not implementing that strategy like today, I mean, all I can say is you're missing a humongous opportunity. So as you guys can see, that's probably the part I'm most excited about. I'm going to train on a whole bunch going forward. But Joe, with that, I'm going to send it back to you.
Listen, Greg, before I let you off the hook here, a couple things. One of the things, you're a beast. Okay, and I can tell you that I know that for a fact. I've hung out with you last week, actually, and I know that you are. And you come across like you're tough, dude. I know. This morning on the radio show, you said, "Hey, it's my second day in a row that I've been pumping iron at the gym, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning out here, right? A lot of people are sleeping in, and you're already at the gym, and you're on a plan, 90 days of going every single day, and you're physically a beast, and you've got passion. Everyone can see that here. But I just gotta commend you, because your heart is way bigger than your attitude, bro, if you know what I mean, because I know how much you really do care. For example, ladies and gentlemen, if you're showing up in the mornings, this guy here, this is the actual original guy, all right? I've known this guy, Greg Chambers, for over 20 years, and he's the original guy for me in my world, right? I met him before I met Doug, before I met anybody else here, so he's the original guy. He's the guy on the mountain that started dancing first. This guy right here, in any other company that I've been around, he would right now be on a yacht, be on a plane, be on a beach, leaving it to the underlings to handle the grind, right? And I gotta hand it to you, Greg, because you come out in the morning on our radio show. We do it every single day. You are the founder in my mind, right? You're the first guy. You blazed the trail, but there you are every single morning helping people. You know how many times, if I had $1 for every single time I heard you in the last 6 weeks say, PM me right now on Facebook, and we're doing the radio show, and you're Skyping me saying, you know what, I got Barbara's issue handled, I'm in touch with Kara right now. That right there says so much about you as an individual, as a business owner, and as a humanitarian, dude. You know, I mean, you and I talk all the time about the fact that people are starving. They're starving for the truth. They're starving for something to be real. And they're drowning in skepticism. And right now, I'm hearing you say, listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't be spending your last money on traffic. Don't do that. And if your first traffic campaign yields profit for you, get on your knees, because there's a long-term vision here. The fact that you are so transparent and so honest, and I dare say that you are the hardest worker of all of us here, bro. I mean, you're an amazing character, dude.
Hey, Joe, I just want to add one thing, and thank you very much for that. I want to add one thing, and I'm going to share a conversation you and I had, before the call. So I'm letting the cat out of the bag slightly, and I'm also going to put a little challenge out to our group. Joe has been instrumental. For people who know me, I am typically a behind-the-scenes kind of person. I am very good with numbers. I'm very good with email marketing. Joe, as we all know, the friendly dancing bear. The interesting part about Joe is this friendly person you see in front of the camera is exactly the same way he is in real life, which is rare and just a truly great person. But what I want to do, Joe, is I want to thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone. Anyone who's heard me before, I'm one of these people. I have a greater fear of public speaking than I do of death. So this is not my comfort zone. And basically, Joe and others on the team have pushed me so far out of my comfort zone. I'm literally in the next zip code at this point. But I want to say this, because it's not about me. This is about our members. Be willing to allow this team to push you guys out of your comfort zone. As you leave that comfort zone, as you start growing, I'm just telling you, it opens up an entirely new world that you'll be so happy that you're on that ride, and we're all on it together, and it's going to be a very great shared experience. So, Joe, with that, back to you, my friend.
All right, Greg. Listen, we're going to do our best to get out of here within the next 20 minutes or so, because I can actually smell. I have smell vision. I can smell coming out of your kitchen. I've been to your home. I know how Natalie cooks, and dude, I want to get you out of here as quickly as we can. So we're going to keep it moving here, ladies and gentlemen. And Greg, thank you for that. I mean everything I say. Listen, there is a big team behind the scenes, right? We know you guys normally you'll see Adam here, and Doug is always here with us. This is the first time these guys are unable to attend, and they are actually working. I was in touch with Doug Wellens earlier, about an hour ago, and the dude had been up since 2 o'clock in the morning working through some of these issues with the e-wallet, and there's people in international issues, and so he has been up just working like a madman. And the same thing is Adam. Adam is constantly. I talked to Adam. He said to me, he goes, dude, I'm working 60-hour weeks, and I believe it. And so many of the people behind the scenes, I just want to also give credit, because we're closing the door now, ladies and gentlemen, on the whole pre-launch thing. We're moving forward full speed ahead. Like the new webinars coming up, we're doing business opportunity webinars. Tuesday webinars are going to be primarily for training people and giving them a taste of what the Academy really will offer for people who upgrade to the $97 position. But that being said, I do have to say that there are a ton of guys, and we probably should get them to shoot some video, so you can see who Chad is and who Ben is and who Jason is. This team of guys behind the scenes that are working, and every single one in lockstep. The goal here is to create an environment and to create a space where every single one of us can soar to our highest levels, and that's what this is about. So I'm going to get you out of here as quickly as I can, Greg. What I want to do now is I want to bring up this guy, and Greg, stick around, because we're going to do some walkthrough on some of the final things, right? The question that keeps coming up morning after morning is how do I start my traffic? I want to start. I want to pause my traffic. Which one of these is the best sales funnels for me to be using right now? And a lot of that is going to be based on your own taste, right? The things that really resonate with you. And that's a whole nother discussion, because there is another level. The law of attraction really does work. You do attract exactly who it is that you are and the way you're behaving. And I think that is one of the reasons that this guy right here, Vincent, is having such a magnificent result. Vincent, I want you to come out here in a minute and tell a little bit about your story. Here's a guy that works like an animal. Okay, Vincent is up morning, noon, and night. He's doing webinars in the middle of the night for people in Europe. He's doing extraordinary things. They are simple things, okay, but they're extraordinary because most people won't even do the simple thing. There's a difference between simple and easy. You know, it's not so easy to be up at 2 in the morning sending an email, following up with a group who's across the land, across the planet, right? And so the things, and again, I said earlier that Vincent is 7 years of building a list, 7 years of building a list. And I think with our traffic authority, with our traffic packages and our traffic academy, the goal is to shrink down that 7 years that Vincent has spent and bring that down, okay? People can do it in 7 months. People can do it in 18 months, okay? And we're going to be here to support you. And so that's really, and that's one of my points here, Vincent, is that, you know, the reason your business grows so exponentially is because you have key people. You've attracted people just like you who will do the things that you do, who just follow in your footprints and they follow your blueprint. And that's why you have results, because you've got an army of guys. I said to somebody the other day, and I heard you say this, I don't know if it was on a call or a webinar, you said that, you know, out of your whole list, you've only got a couple, 300 people front line to you. And that small group really generates 150 Gs, give or take, right? That is amazing. Vincent, come on out here, man. Give us a little bit of your perspective, and you know, I will also say one thing before I yield the floor to you, because I know you can go a long time, bro. I've seen your webinars. But I will tell you that I was on one of your webinars, and you actually showed your playbook. I actually saw it, right? And it was interesting because what you were showing was exactly what you were getting from Adam and from the team. You did exactly as you were told, and the next thing you know, 150 Gs. Anyone can do this. But will anyone do it? We'll find out. Vincent, come on out here, man. How's it going?
I love it. I love it. I was just looking at my numbers. So I got 319 personally enrolled. That's it. 319 personally enrolled, and that equals 150 grand. I mean, what I want you guys to realize is that, you know, like they were saying, this really just compresses time, and that's why I love it so much. I mean, 7 years to build 150,000 person email list. You know, that took a long time. In my first 4 or 5 years, it probably was only a few thousand people. It really just blew up over the last, you know, 2.5, 3 years as I was starting to build businesses, build pages, build systems, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, like Greg was saying, you know, it cost me a fortune to build my email list. I mean, easily I put out, you know, in systems and training and all the stuff that I do to attract all that people, you know, easily over $1 million. Easily. I'm talking like minimal, okay? And, you know, at the end of the day, then you take all the money that you spend and the effort and the energy, you know, for that aspect of things, but then you have to build a relationship with the list. So it takes a little while. And so what I'm telling people, you know, right now, especially in expectations up front, you know, the sales videos and the conversions right now are doing really good. They're amazing for what they are already, which is fantastic. But what you guys don't realize is if you're not getting a sale up front, or you're getting just one and you wanted like 10 or 20 or whatever, what you guys got to realize is that over the next 30, 60, and 90 days, as you really warm up that email list, that's where you start to make all the sales. You'll probably make more sales from that first batch of traffic, you know, 90 days, even up to 6 months from now. That's the crazy part. I mean, I have people that join, for example, let me give you a good example. I have people that are joining Traffic Authority now that have been on my email list for 5 years. Okay, and so literally what it comes down to is really the kind of that culture that you build your list and the momentum that you build up, and then the credibility. Because at the end of the day, that's really what all lies on everything. The only reason I'm here is because of Adam and I's conversations for the last several years, knowing what he can create, right? And then the only reason I'm here is because of Greg and these guys. I know that they were the ones that provided traffic for when my business blew up 1.5 years ago. So it's because of the credibility and the relationships, and so really it just kind of passes down. So you can't really expect somebody who has no clue, you know, who anybody is, right, to come in and just purchase a whole bunch of stuff, right? You have to build up that trust. And so what I teach people to do is, like, you know, when you're getting this traffic and leads that are coming in, which is crazy. I mean, I didn't even know it was running yet. My people started hitting me up on Facebook, like, dude, my capture page is going at like 38%. My capture page is going to like 42%. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. It's so awesome. People have never built a list before in their life. And so it just blew my mind at first. And then sometimes they were making sales already up front. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, it's finally happening, right? And do you realize that took me literally 2.5, 3 years just to make one sale? Okay, I mean, for the first couple of years of my life, I couldn't make a freaking sale to save my life. All I was doing was giving away free training, okay, and getting leads. Maybe I'd get like 1 or 2 leads every week, you know. And so now people are getting all these leads. Some of them are making sales up front, even if they're not. They're building their email list already. And so what I want you guys to realize is over the last 7 years, it's taken me a long time and a lot of money to build up this email list of 150,000 people. That's why I have so much income already in the company. But it's going to collapse time like crazy. You know, I feel like I feel like if I started all over and had traffic authority at the beginning, I could get probably, you know, this is my guess, no guarantees, but I could get to where I'm at right now within a year or so. You know, all it takes is really, at the end of the day, money to put up enough money to get all those leads flowing in and then building that list. But, you know, you got to realize, too, though, my money, too, is a lot of energy. I mean, look at this right here. Let me give you an example. I got freaking 3 cell phones running. Okay? I got 100 messages on Facebook. I got several messages on Twitter, tons of DMs on Instagram. I got emails coming in all day, every day. Okay, so what I want you guys to realize is, here's the crazy part of this. It's not that I'm dialing, cold calling people, banging the phones and things like that. I'm just trying to catch up to the amount of people that are flooding in wanting to purchase, and they don't even know my affiliate link yet. Okay, so imagine getting yourself in that situation versus the person that has to go out there and try to find leads and go try to, you know, bother people, right? At the end of the day, people are just flooding into me. And so eventually when you get to that role, it's so cool. You never worry about another lead in your life, you know? And the crazy part is, here's the craziest part, I haven't sent any traffic yet. All right, it's all of what I've built up in my email lists already and the rapport that I've built over the last 7 years. So you eventually get to this point where you can't catch up. Okay, you cannot even catch up to the amount of leads that pour in. So in the beginning, what I want you to realize is that you need to feel really grateful and blessed that you're even building an email list as fast as it's building right now when you start this thing. I mean, it is unbelievable. And then when you get a sale, that's like freaking winning the lottery. Okay, it took me years, 2 years, 2.5 years to get a freaking sale. Okay, and so what I want you guys to realize is that we're looking at the conversions, we're looking at the numbers, and they're already amazing and great. And what we're creating for you guys in the future, like Joe was saying on the leadership team, some of the stuff that we're talking about in the future, mind-blowing. All right, like mind-blowing stuff that's coming. You know, a lot of people that want to know, is this just a company that's going to be here for a couple months? We're talking about visions of years down the road already, behind closed doors, behind the scenes, you know. And so it's just exciting times. But I just want you guys to realize, you know, Greg wanted me to talk about expectations. You know, you could spend, you know, $4,000 on a titanium package, make all your money back, and make even some more sometimes. You just never know. Or you're going to not make really that much up front, but over time, as you build and you do the proper things, you're definitely going to get your investment back. That's our whole goal for you. You know, that's really the thing. We can't obviously guarantee it, but, you know, really what comes down to, when you have that asset in that email list and you do it properly and you do exactly what we show you, how to build your culture around that, you're going to crush it. Period. End of story. I mean, it's all about the numbers, you know. And this is good traffic. You can actually see your traffic, the IP addresses, where they're from, all that stuff, you know. Most of the time, you're going to be paying, you know, $100 for 30,000 clicks on some stupid website and who knows where. And all these people are fake clickers. They don't even speak English. And so what you guys got to realize is that that's why these clicks are $1 and those clicks are literally like 3 cents, because you're just wasting your money. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want you guys to realize here too, which is exciting. I mean, people are connecting with their leads already through Facebook and social media and stuff. It's exciting time. So let me go into the back office really quick, and I will kind of give you a little rundown how to get your stuff started. Let's go here. All right. Let me know if you can see my screen, Joe.
I can see it. There it is.
Okay, so we're showing numbers here, so always go to taearnings.com if you want to see what the average earnings are. But, you know, this is just the back office. This is where you see commissions. This is the exciting part, where people wants to see, you know. And so that's kind of where you get going. But let's get over to, we'll talk about some other stuff if people have questions later. But let's go to the traffic store where the action takes place, okay, where you need to start focusing in and honing in, because traffic's running, it's moving, the conversions are great, and it's time to move. So go over here to click to buy traffic when you log in. Actually, let me do this, Joe. I'm just going to go ahead and log out, just show people. A lot of people are confused on this, too, I've noticed on my team. You want to make sure you're logging in this back office, trafficauthority.net/login.php. A lot of people are still using the old back office, the old pre-launch back office, and they're confused. Okay? If you don't see this nice blue background with this nice look right here, when you're logging in, you're in the wrong back office. Okay? You need to be in this one, trafficauthority.net/login.php. Okay? And then the first video you're going to see, of course, is a video that's going to talk about the different options over here. It's going to have you go to the traffic store. Okay? Then once you go to the traffic store video, literally there's a video right here that shows you how to buy traffic. Boom, you're going to buy yourself some traffic. Now, after you buy the traffic, it's going to come up here into your active orders, okay? And in your active orders, all right, you're going to have to come in here under your active orders, and you're going to have to unpause this thing to get it running, okay? And the reason why I have 9,000 in there is because I got the cool pre-launch bonus. All right, so we're going to go in here to manage. And once you go in there, as you can see, would you like to pause your traffic? If it's on yes, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for everybody too. There we go. If it's on yes, then it's going to be paused, okay? Now, if it's on no, then it's going to be ready to run, okay? A lot of people want to have an idea on what your daily spending cap should be. So what I recommend you guys do is take the amount of money that you spent and just divide it by 30, okay? So if you, for example, had the $4,000 package or whatever, you know, and you divide that by 30, what is that, Joe? Like, is it like 30 bucks? What is that, a day? Something like that.
Let me get my calculator out here. Look at Greg Chambers going for his calculator.
I'll do it really quick for us. 4,000 divided by 30. 133 bucks a day. So pick something around there if you have, like, for example, the 4,000. So I would just do something simple. Just do 100 bucks a day or whatever. You know, whatever you want to do. If you're up that level. Now, if you're at the 220, then do like 5 bucks a day, right? So you really want to spread it out so you have literally daily consistent flows of leads coming in, and really that's going to help you out when you're starting to connect with your leads. They start asking you questions and all that, so you can keep up with it. All right. Now, where do we send traffic? You can put your own website. You can put traffic authority funnel, your own tracking link, your rotator. It's where everybody's so brand new right now. I really wouldn't mess with this stuff unless you started really diving in deep to the back office. You started learning how to use all the tools and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, just keep it on traffic authority funnel. If you're brand new, you don't really understand all the little traffic ins and outs and stuff like that. Keep it on the regular funnel. And then what we recommend right now, and what I've seen the highest conversions on so far, is rich versus poor capture page 1. Okay? So if you want a recommendation of which one, because there's so many, I would say rich versus poor capture page 1. Now, no guarantees, but this is what I've seen as a leader in talking to people. The conversion rate on the capture page is anywhere from like the 25% range all the way up to like 42 or 43%. Okay? And if it's a little lower than that, you know, that's okay too. What Adam always strives for is about 20% conversions or higher on that capture page minimum. That's the goal. Obviously, there's never guarantees, but just know that that capture page is converting awesome. And then Adam said the sales video was somewhere around the 1% mark right now, but like I said, no guarantees there either. But just know that it's not really about the upfront sell. It's about the follow-up sequences that go out automatically. And as your leads start to get exposed to webinars like this, they start to convert even higher and higher and higher. And so what I want you guys to realize is that right now, I mean, the conversion rates are phenomenal. It's unbelievable. Actually, I'm kind of mind blown for it to be right out the gate, you know, the numbers that they are right now and things like that. Because usually it takes some time. Usually you have to spend literally, you know, thousands of dollars just to start getting leads for about $15 a lead. Okay, and right now people are getting leads for like $2 to $3 to $4, you know, super cheap. Sometimes like, you know, $2, which is unbelievable. So I want you guys to realize that what's happening right now is just mind blowing. I mean, Greg's been doing traffic for a long time. Greg, I mean, what is an average lead for a normal person that's not using an already done for you solution? What does it normally cost them, you know, to get a lead? Isn't it upwards of like $8 to $9, $10, something like that?
Oh, dude, I mean, it completely varies, but I mean, like you said, it's very expensive because, I mean, you know, also depends on where you start. I mean, are you building your own landing page? I mean, there's like $500 to $1,000 out the window.
Yeah.
You know, do you have domain set up? You know, I mean, again, there's just so many costs, and then like you said, I mean, you know, basically it all depends on if you put name and phone number and all those things, but I mean, things are going really, really great at the moment, and we're going to keep them, you know, going really well.
I love that. And I love how you have all these tools and features and stuff like that where, you know, when you can see a website's down and stuff like that, it's exciting. And then I know Adam, and then they got this thing all moved over to Amazon with your guys' team chat and everybody, and it's just like, so we can be really confident in the website and the clicks and stuff like that too, which is very exciting. So, you know, that's really the main thing, guys. We want you to get back there, start running some traffic, start getting some of those leads running through, start that follow-up sequence that's going on there. But make sure, too, you guys want to also go into your resellers tab, okay? Go over to the business center, okay? And then over in the marketing links section, what I recommend you guys make sure that's nice and set up over here is step number 1, okay? Step number 1 is where you're connecting your autoresponder. That's where Adam literally just teaches you to copy and paste that API code from GetResponse and you'll have an automatic follow-up sequence of about 13 emails out the gate. There's about 4 or 5 buyer emails as well, so when people come in, they become buyers, they get email sequences there as well. And then there's reseller, retail sequences too. I mean, it's unbelievable what they set up. I mean, to get the follow-up set up, to do all this stuff, it would take you literally weeks and weeks and weeks. You literally copy and paste the code, and you have all this stuff up and running for you. It's seriously like for me as a leader, like, you know, teaching over the last 7 years, it is just like such a weight off my shoulder. It feels like a cement block came off my head, you know, not having to teach you guys all this stuff, you know, because you can just copy and paste and put it in there. So that's really exciting. And then the rich versus poor capture page one I've been talking about is this option right here under capture page one. You literally just copy and paste that, you know, to friends and things like that that you're connected with, but on the traffic, you know, that's already an option for you guys to just go ahead and select. So if you want to kind of see what it is, the one we recommend is the capture page one right there. And so we also have some cool stuff coming. I mean, we're talking in the leadership panel. I'm actually making a funnel for you guys right now, which is a full-on sales video funnel. There's other leaders who are going to make funnels for you guys as well. There's going to be so much stuff for you guys to select from, because at the end of the day, and why most people don't succeed on the internet, is that you can't just have one sales video and one funnel for the rest of your life. It has to change, and it has to evolve, and it has to, you know, say different messages. And that's what's so nice about the follow-up sequence. You know, once they go through the rich versus poor, if they didn't become a customer, you know, they might go through a Google versus Facebook and then become a customer next time. And if they don't do it that time, then they might go through my funnel that I'm creating, and then they'll become a customer that time. It's really, you're hitting everybody from different angles. And, you know, eventually you're going to get to a point where, you know, they've been hit and they've been seen so many different times that they're finally going to convert over and realize, hey, this is the best opportunity on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really where we're at kind of at that point. So really, that's it. I mean, I could go on and on forever and give a whole bunch of, you know, stuff, but I think we'll probably just save that for the back office and the Traffic Academy. But, you know, really, is there anything else you guys want me to cover on this, Greg, Joe?
Hey, Greg, I'm wondering if you could, one of the questions, Greg, we get most in the morning is about pending link review. And I know you do a very good explanation of that in the morning on our radio show. Would you share with people a little bit about what that means when their link is pending review and why that's a great benefit for people?
Thank you, Joe, so much for that. It is a really good one. Basically, pending link review means that someone always in corporate traffic authority is going to review the link you submitted with your traffic order and where we're going to send your traffic to, in essence. And, you know, basically, so always be aware you'll never waste a single click. We'll always make sure your website's working and that you have a site that's appropriate, you know, for our traffic. I also want to add, though, Joe, one thing we're doing slightly differently is that we are now going to remove the, you know, pending link review, and we're going to leave the traffic order on pause. So from now on, as we open the orders for you guys, they will not just automatically be set to run like we've been doing the last 3 days. So, you know, by the morning, the great majority of all the traffic orders are going to be open. But with that said, they're going to be paused on your side. So all you've got to do is go back to your back office and, like, you know, Vincent showed you guys, just change that yes to a no on the pause. Once you put it for no pause, that means your traffic will be running and you'll be seeing clicks coming in within several hours.
And Greg, I know that we have a hopper full of clicks over the last 6 weeks. And I know you and I had a discussion about what that really looks like, okay? When you look at those, just like on the low end of what the conversions will be, we're looking at a ton of more buyers. We're going to have so much traffic moving.
Such a great point, Joe. I can't believe I didn't talk about that. And it was all due to the fact that, you know, again, like I was saying earlier, leave it to Joe to push me out of my comfort zone, gives me the outline literally like 20 minutes in advance. I'd love to have a full day to make my outline, but 2 things I wanted to go over, and I'm going to be really short on this, I promise you guys. You know, we had roughly about 600 sales actually happen over the last 2 or 3 days at the $47 level, and that's happened since we started traffic. Of course, also leaders like Mac and Eric Bechtold have been sending their personal lists and Vince, so they all add together, you know. But the increase that we're seeing is absolutely massive. And I want to just add one thing: as traffic, you know, sales come into place, we're going to see our community growing very, very fast. I should say, as traffic orders are started, the traffic orders, the $47 and team members are going to, you know, really expand quickly. And then we're also going to send the pre-launch list. That's what I really want to get to. So the combination, more synergy, you know, that list now is 70,000 the pre-launch area. Everyone who's not a member, we have about 4,000 active members as of today. The 66,000 who are not paying members, we're going to invite them to whoever generated them originally. We're going to send a link. We're going to send your link if you're the one who generated that pre-launch lead, and we're going to send them down for the next literally 4 weeks to your different marketing funnels. And so between that and your traffic orders, you guys are going to see some humongous activity. We're going to be growing very, very rapidly over this next 4-week period. And I just wanted to recommend one last thing, Joe, is have everybody be watching that daily marketing plan. Please, you guys, now that the things are working, traffic's running, please review the daily marketing plan. So you're literally going through the steps you need to go through to be the most productive. At the end of the day, the reason we put all of this together is to help the just average person create an above average income. So we're not putting those daily marketing tips out there because we're bossy. We're simply trying to give you the steps to say, here is where the money is. It's like a treasure map. Follow that treasure map every day. The guys putting that together, really smart guys. Adam and Ben, these guys are step-by-step masters. And the more you follow those, the more money you're going to make. I don't care if you're an internet marketing expert or you are brand new, you just turned on the internet today. That stuff is going to lead you to the promised land. So, Joe, with that, back to you.
All right, one more thing then, Greg, and about the traffic, right? There is a lot of traffic moving, which is a good thing. Okay, we are about to become a household name, and people have control, right? And I would recommend that, if you're running your traffic, be available, because people do send emails. They do look for a follow-up right away because they want to know, are you for real? Is this a for real company that there's a human being there? So, people have the opportunity to okay, this weekend I'm going to go to Sedona, Arizona, so I'm suspending my traffic. I want to go be with my family, so I'm not going to have my traffic running. You could, but really, Greg, is there an expectation for people? Let's say that you've got 1,000, you bought 1,000 a gold package. If you just turn that traffic on, how long can people expect for that 1,000 to exhaust that traffic by? What do you think? Is that
it's a great question, and what I'm going to say is here, because of course so many folks purchase traffic from the pre-launch. That's clearly going to push us a little bit out of the zone. I would still say any of the orders that are started will run within 30 days, unless you actually set your daily limit to make it run longer. Going forward, what it's always been for me for 20 years, it's been in the 7 to 21 day mark. And again, I'm just telling you guys, we will be within the 7 to 14 day mark very soon. For right now, these campaigns probably more like 21 to 30 days. But again, you're going to be building your list that whole time. The fun part about this too is that Vince's and other marketing which will be coming online. So having to run over some time will not be any problem because you'll have the opportunity to change your URLs and get the maximum benefit of that as well.
Well, Greg Chambers, listen, it's been I know that I can smell the food coming up out of the kitchen. I know Natalie's waiting to spend some time with you. I'm excited for everything that's going on. I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for what's going on in our community and the work that you have put in here. It's absolutely unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And so I want to thank you. You are, and I will correct you on one thing. You are kind of bossy, dude. Okay.
The truth is out. But he's my brother and our team. I mean,
you're very, very bossy, but that's okay because you pushed me out of my comfort zone, and that's what it's about. Thank you very much, Greg. You're absolutely awesome. We're gonna see if we can get out here in the next couple of minutes. Vincent, I want to bring you back out here though, because one thing that you said, and Greg, I love what Vincent said. Vincent said he has spent $1 million on training, on building stuff, on cultivating that list. It didn't cost him $150,000 to build a list of 150,000 people. He spent about $1 million on that list, which I don't know, what is that, $750 a name? I mean, really, when you break it down, and I want you guys to consider what you're involved in here. You're buying some traffic, and what it is it's a process. You're building a list and you're building a relationship. Some of us, and you look on the Facebook page, people are already making bank And some people are going, oh man, you know, my clicks didn't convert that well. But at the end of the day, it's all about just staying in the game. And one of the things I think is very, very important, and this is why it's very important, I think, that you be aware of your action and your clicks. I get emails all the time. Like the last week, I've been running traffic from people who send me an email, right? They click my link, they get the autoresponder, and then they send me a direct email, say, hey, could you call me? Here's my number. And I got one on Friday, and it was interesting because I talked about this on the Saturday call. On Friday, I got an email from a woman, and she was snarky, right? The email was like, hey, can't you just cut to the chase? Oh, I got to watch this video and that video, and why can't you guys just cut to the chase? And I called her. I picked up the phone, and I floored her, man. I could tell she was like, whoa, this is weird, right? So it's about cultivating that relationship. And maybe Vincent, you can speak to that, because I know that you're a master of just connecting with people, meeting them where they are, not trying to sell them shit, and just talking to them about really what are their expectations, and then coaching them along. And maybe you can speak to that before we wrap it up tonight about that. You know, this is internet marketing, 150,000 names on your list, but 300 people made magic for you. And every one of those 300, dude, I hear them on the radio show, they sing your praise, bro. They love you.
Well, I think it just, people freak out when, I give my phone number out and they can text me, because they're like so used to internet marketers where they're just like, spamming crap, and that's really where you stand out. Like, if you care just a little bit, I care a lot, obviously, but if you care a little bit more than most of the internet marketers in the world, you're going to stand out. And that's huge. For Joe to call that lead that she gave the number, and my recommendation for you guys would, it really comes down to how bad you want it, because in the beginning, I would do anything it takes. I'd get on the phone every single day, all day, whatever people needed, and then you get to a point where you can qualify people to where, you're spending your time well on the phone. But, I would put my phone number in these emails that are automatically going out, I would call these people in the beginning, it's like, call, go hustle. Really it's just all about collapsing time. I told people there's things. I was training my team yesterday. I was like, you can do these things, or you can just not do them, and kind of the time will kind of spread out on the amount of success you're going to have, really. Because at the end of the day, the way that you make people buy from you is by building a relationship, period, end of story, okay? And so you can collapse that time by popping on the phone and having a conversation and communicate with them. Or, you can make your time run a long time by just allowing the follow-up emails to go out, and then hopefully maybe they'll see something eventually in a webinar that makes it go click and things like that. So really that's what it comes down to. It's like, how fast can you build a relationship? How fast do you want to make money, really, is how quickly you're going to build that relationship. And so that's why right now, a lot of people think, oh, Vince, you have $150,000 and what are you going to do with it? It's so much money. And what you guys don't realize is that, it's all a mindset, and I've gone through $150,000 in a single day on systems, gone, poof. And so what you guys got to realize, it just comes down to, what your vision is, how bad you want it, and how quickly do you want to get there. My 7 years of working is probably, most people's 100, 200 plus years of working. Okay? And so I collapse time. I can't stand thinking about myself 60 years into the road with me thinking that, oh, I just kind of gave half effort, I want to literally, quadruple, 10x my life and do things a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive. So, later on in life, I'm just chilling, And so really it just comes down to whatever you guys want to do. If you want to collapse time, you got to do everything it takes to build relationships faster. That's why I have 3 cell phones going, so anybody can text me, I can call, I can get stuff going on. In my position, I'm qualifying people first, so I don't get on the phone with them until I say, just give you guys an example, because for those of you guys who buy like 8,000 clicks and you start doing this, you're going to get, crazy amounts of stuff. You got to start qualifying people and say, look, okay, awesome. If I get on the phone with you guys right now, I want to make sure, and I'm just texting it, I want to make sure that you have the money to get started right away, okay? And if they say no, I can't, there's no way. It's not my time used wisely. And so you'll get to that point, which is super nice, and it's just it's all about the numbers, in that sense. You got to have massive amounts of traffic, and then eventually you'll become to a point where you just can't catch up anymore. And that's just like the best thing ever. I'm overwhelmed and worked literally, over 100 hours a week over the last, 3 weeks. But it's fun. It's exciting. That's the difference. And I'm just chilling here at home, though. It's like people say you grind and you work so hard. I'm just chilling here at home 5 steps from the, my babies, and that's the view. You know, it's different between working hard and having to travel and have to go somewhere to make this kind of money. You know, doctors, I mean, I'm making more than doctors and lawyers and all these people that, you know, aspire to be right now at Traffic Authority, and I'm just chilling with my family, you know. Most of the time you have to be away from your family. And so just know, take my example, that this thing works, you know, and what I've done is proven, and what all these leaders who are crushing it, it's proven. And the hardest thing on planet Earth is to get leads. That's it. That's the hardest thing to do. And right here, it's now with Greg and Adam and all the guys in the crew that put this together, it's the most simple thing on planet Earth to get leads. It's crazy. And then all it's about is building relationships and learning. And just give a damn. Like Joe was saying, I don't just sell people shit. Like, I actually give a damn, you know, and that's really what it comes down to. So, you know, if you don't care about people, I promise you this ain't gonna work. You actually have to have a little bit of care about what you're doing. So that's all there is to it, man.
And it's a cultural thing, right? You know, we can talk forever about some of the more, you know, esoteric things about what it is that we do, but, you know, it is a cultural thing, and it starts with Greg Chambers truly caring. Yeah. And that's why somebody like you shows up, and I know that Adam cares, and so all of a sudden you start seeing in your business, okay, you take a look at your own personal business, and eventually it will be a reflection of your thoughts, your behaviors, and the way that you approach people. And, you know, that's a training for a whole nother day, and we get into that kind of stuff in the mornings on our radio show. Listen, I'm gonna put a wrap on this thing, okay, because we've covered a lot of ground here tonight. We've spent a lot of time on these webinars. I'll tell you what you can expect, though, okay? I can tell you what's going to happen moving forward. What you're going to start seeing a little bit different flavor on these webinars, okay? On Thursday nights, the webinar is going to be designed for you to send prospects to, okay? This morning we had a meeting, and you were on that meeting, Vince. There's some things that are being built in the background that will allow each and every one of you, each individual one of you, to send a link, an invite to a webinar, and when people buy and enroll and get started on that webinar, they'll be directly coded to you. That's happening right now. Whether or not we get that thing rolling by Thursday, we'll see. You know, the tech team has got priorities, and we'll see where that falls in. But on Thursdays, we're going to be dedicating our Thursday time to actually helping you close sales, helping you convert prospects into actual teammates. So that's what's going to be happening on Thursdays. It's going to have a little bit of a different flavor. Now, I know that many of you are wondering, what about Traffic Academy? Well, Traffic Academy, a lot of that content is going to reside on the internet, on your website, because people are paying for Traffic Academy. Okay, and so those of you who haven't bought Traffic Academy, oh well, you're going to have to step up and make the decision and the commitment to your business to have access to that level of training. And that is really going to be remarkable stuff. The Traffic Academy is going to be about all aspects of your business, not just clicks. We'll be addressing other ways. There are other things that you can do to drive traffic, to build your brand. You'll learn about things like LinkedIn. You're going to learn from people who are thought leaders, okay, people who have been very, very successful in business because of the way that they think and the way that they approach business. You know, people like, we talk about this guy in the morning, How Rich People Think, right? These types of individuals will be coming to the academy because success, most of it is in here, man. The things that you think about are the things that you bring about. And the way that you behave and the way you treat people will be a reflection, you know, your business will be a reflection of that. And people in the Traffic Academy will be speaking to those issues. Now on Tuesdays, what we're going to be doing, like in this spot, this is going to be kind of more of like a spot where people can come and get their rudimentary basic questions answered, right? Bringing brand new people through the back office. Greg just said, Greg, I was really excited to hear that you said just in the last day or so, we've had 600 new people join us as at $47, buying the reseller license and the Traffic Optimizer. That's big. We're only here for 6 weeks. We're just getting started. And we got 600 people just came into our program yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, you are sitting right at the front of what is going to be, already is for some, the most amazing ride that you have ever experienced. For real, okay? 25 years I've been doing this. I've never seen anything like this, and I want you to really, really get busy. You know, last week we showed this video called, you know, It's Not About the Nail. You know, the girl had a nail in her head, right? And she's complaining about everything else, but she's not realizing that it's the nail that was what was stopping her. And so I want you guys to consider that right now there may be some things that you're not really understanding all the way, and there might be something, your e-wallet isn't, there's a problem with your driver's license document. Let that stuff go. Just go out there and start promoting your links. If you didn't buy traffic, maybe you already have a list. Just get busy. Now, a couple more things I'm going to say, and we're going to gavel down here. Greg mentioned the daily marketing plan. The daily marketing plan is going to be posted on Facebook every single morning. And we're going to begin emailing that to you guys every single day. So make sure that you're whitelisting anything coming from Traffic Authority. Okay, that's the place where you will start your day. We want you guys to get into the rhythm every single day of going to the Facebook page, checking your email, and getting what are your marching orders for today. What can I do today to bring my business to the next level? That's what the daily marketing plan is. And also this radio broadcast at radioleverage.com, that's a place where you can come get your questions answered in real time. If you're lucky, Greg will be there in real time fixing stuff for you. It's very important that you connect with the community every single chance that you have. Okay, now lastly, I would say that for those of you who are listening for the first time today, our Facebook page, okay, the Facebook page is ez.com/TAFB group. There it is. And you know what? I'm going to get some slides here. Next week I'll have some slides so we can show this stuff to people. Radio Leverage, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, radioleverage.com. You can go there. Everything streams live. And, somebody said on the Facebook page not long ago, they said, man, that radio show is really good, effective. It's really good. And it's really because, I'm there, Greg is there, Doug is there, but we got hundreds of you guys who are coming out there, and that really demonstrates to people that there is a real community here. So radioleverage.com is a great place for you to get information and send prospects. Say, go listen to this. It's available 24/7. Check out what is going on in my community. It's only the beginning, right? I'm wearing my tuxedo today because it is like, it's graduation day. Pre-launch is closed. It's time to get busy. Again, I want to thank you guys. Vincent, Greg, go eat dinner, dude. Would you? We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern on the radio show. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Good night.